Italy's Marcell Jacobs is a joke. Many said they were wrong. Welcome back to the channel, people. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, thank you for making it Peter Lloyd World. Now go ahead, please hit that subscribe button so we can continue to grow. When you do that, go in and hit the notification bell so you know when the next video drops. We drop a video at least once a day, every day here on Peter Lloyd World. Also, if you enjoy the content, please hit that like button. And finally, please leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on the World Olympic gold medalist in the men's 100 meters from Tokyo 2020 last year, Lamont Marcell Jacobs, born in Texas, representing for Italy, who surprised many. What are your honest thoughts about this young man? Una ready? Yep, good to go. Now let us be honest. When Lamont Marcell Jacobs of Italy won the men's 100 meters at the Tokyo 2020 Olympics, many of you were shocked. Look, I'm going to admit it, I was shocked. Lamont Marcell Jacobs was not even on my radar. In truth, I knew nothing about this young man until he won in spectacular form at the Tokyo 2020 Olympics in the men's 100 meters. And in fact, many pundits and many other persons basically took him for a joke. Many persons basically said, if other persons were there, he would not have had a chance. If other persons were there, it was almost as if, look, let me say it this way. I believe that there's an innate prejudice that happens. We tend to believe that if the athlete doesn't come from this side of the world, meaning closer to the Americas, how can he win a sprint contest? Lamont Marcell Jacobs proved many persons wrong as an Italian sprinter. He shocked everyone. And many of you and many great pundits referenced him as a joke, as a fluke, as being lucky, as just being fortunate. No one took him seriously. Well, guess what? You were all wrong. You may not be aware of this, but Lamont Marcell Jacobs has not lost a race since he won that gold medal. Now, his first race in the 2022 season was in Berlin, Germany, earlier in February, where he won in spectacular form in his first race for the 2022 season. Jacobs won this first race, a 60 meter, in a time of 6.15. Now, for his first race in a 60 meter indoor, 6.51 was a very impressive time and win. But in August of last year, right after the Olympic Games, he had ran the Italian indoor 60 meter record, a time of 6.47. And the truth is, he really has not lost a race since. Now, I know some of you are going to say, okay, Peter, all right, so he won this race. But he's not been tested by any great sprinters, you know, anyone of substance. Well, first, let's look at him setting the Italian record last year, August in 2021. A time of 6.47. Here's that race. But in one of his other races, because he's done 4 races since the beginning of the season, starting in February, he has raced 2 of America's very, very best. Now in Levin in France, he took on one of America's top 5 sprinters, the young man who came 5th in the 100 meters in the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. That is none other than Ronnie Baker of the United States. One of the USA's best. Now, many people say he has not been up to form, but he was beaten handily by Marcell Jacobs. Here is that race. Jacobs ran 6.50 to win in that race, improving, and that was his third win for the beginning of the season. And he beat Ronnie Baker, who is one of the best sprinters on earth. So for those of you who might be saying, well, he's not been competing with anyone again, any great sprinter, Ronnie Baker is considered one of the greatest sprinters, one of the greatest sprinters, and his times were pretty consistent. 10.5051 to open 6.51 to open the season, and in his third race he ran 6.51. But running against Mike Rogers at the Orlin Cup, he ran a very quick 6.49 to win in comfortable style, running against Mike Rogers, another great American sprinter. Here is that race. So his time of 6.49 in Orlin over the 60 meter makes him the 5th fastest man in the world to date in the 60 meter for the 2022 season, according to World Athletics. So since winning the men's 100 meters in last year's Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games, he has not lost a race. In fact, right after that, as I stated earlier, he set the indoor 60 meter record for Italy, a very impressive time of 6.47. This is the 60 meters, 6.47. He's won every race since then. Since starting his season, he has run 4 races, 2 against top sprinters, Mike Rogers being one of the United States, and Ronnie Baker. Now, some of you are going to say Ronnie Baker is not at his best or at his best form. But the fact of the matter is that he's taken on 2 of the best sprinters and one of Europe's best and beaten them handily. His times are comparable. According to world.org, that 6.49 is the 5th fastest in the world as we speak. Now, I know many of you are going to say, but it's a 60 meter, it's not a 100 meter. It's a 60 meter, and that's a very valid point. Also, I'm going to jump in and say it's very, very early in the season. So the truth is we're just sort of getting a gauge. But I think he has proven that he's no joke. He's a serious contender. And if we are all to be completely honest, we are all looking forward to seeing him and the young man, Christian Coleman, out of the United States, clash at the World Indoor Championships. That's going to be the event of the championships. That's what everybody's wanting to see, because we're all trying to gauge whether or not Coleman has the edge. Now, Coleman does have the faster time. Coleman is tied for first place in terms of a world-leading time. But 6.49 is no joke, people. That's a pretty quick time. So I'm going to say it again. Many of you said this Italian sprinter is a joke or a fluke or got lucky or can't repeat. I'm saying that based on what he's been doing thus far, himself and his team, I mean, they've been very clever with the type of races he's been running. He's been running. He has the world's 5th fastest time over 60 meters so far this season. He's won 4 races back-to-back, 2 against prominent global sprinters, one being Mike Rogers, of course, and the other one being Ronnie Baker, both of the United States. And let me say it for you. I'm going to repeat. Yes, it's very early in the season, and 60 meters does not mean you can run 100 meters and win. Those are 2 valid points that one must take into consideration, and I am taking into consideration. But I'm going to say this. I concede that I didn't take the young man, Marcell Jacobs, seriously. I'm taking him seriously. I think he's proving that we all should probably start taking him seriously. Because as it stands right now, the only other person we see who could match up against Christian Coleman is this young man. We're not even speaking about Marcell. We're literally not even talking about him. I mean, he should be in the conversation. So I don't think he's a joke. And I think he's sort of proving to us that we should take him seriously. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so we can continue to grow here at Peter Lloyd World. When you do that, go in and hit the notification bell so you know when the next video drops. We drop a video at least once a day, every day here in Peter Lloyd World. Also, if you enjoy the content, please hit the like button. There's no more dislike buttons. We need that engagement, and the algorithms on YouTube love the engagement. And finally, I really want to know your thoughts. I mean, admit it. I know many of you thought this young man was a joke. You all thought he was. And I know many of you are beginning to take him very seriously. So you were wrong. I admit that I was wrong. I mean, I never called him a joke, but I was wrong. You are kings and queens, your greatness personified. Believe in yourselves. And bless up.